You're doing great. I've got my friends on Facebook, my friends on YouTube. Hope you're doing good. I call this Project Dinner Jazz. Let me move out of the way so you take a look. Project Dinner Jazz. And this is where you can chill and chat. I know I've got friends on the other side of the world where people are actually awake right now. I know some people are painting the town red at the moment, so they're probably going to miss this treat. I typically don't play a lot of music, maybe one or two videos. You might have caught some of my music, but I'm going to be playing a little bit for you today and just having a quick conversation about your projects, you know. Play a few tracks and then you can chat in, you know, how your week has been, how your studying has been. I'm kind of curious to know. Those of you studying, hey, you can study to this jam. I'm going to play a few jams before I leave tonight. So let me dial in so I can see who is on. So it's called Project Dinner Jazz, right? So I probably should play some jazz for you. How about some jazz, right? Let me play a bit of jazz for you, just a tiny little bit of jazz. Let me call this a good study day. That's the off-the-cover title, but I call this boss jazz because I want you to boss up and smash the living daylights out of that creep. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. So let's have some jazz, a little bit of jazz for you. Project Dinner Jazz, where we talk about project management and kick back with a bit of jazz. So I'm curious to know if you guys have had a good week. How are your projects? Did you bring it? Did your boss make you mad? Did you maintain your calm? Did you play your A game? I'm curious to know. Speak to me. Are you busy painting the town red? You're so busy painting the town red you can't speak to your buddy Phil? You can't speak to your good old buddy Phil. Play you one more track before we round up for the day. And if you want to let me know how your projects have been, feel free to chat in. So you're going to know where to get me as far as questions are concerned. Pretty much on Thursdays, I'm going to be doing the hustle for your PMP exam. Muscle. I'm going to be doing that series. And that's going to be on Thursdays, kind of middle of the day, East Coast time-ish. Or should I say Pacific time-ish? Kind of Pacific time. Hey, Subkamath, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Did you get that download? Did download show up for you in your email? I hope you got that download because we shot those out earlier, so I hope you got those. I'm doing great, thank you. Makes a change to not have to be speaking about you know what, you know who. You know who. Your good old friend. Your good old friend, the PMBOK guide. So tell me, what kind of projects do you work on? So Kamath, what kind of projects do you work on? Do you work on IT projects, engineering projects, healthcare projects? What kind of projects? Kind of keen to know. And to know how that makes sense in your world, the PMBOK guide, how that makes sense in your world. Oh, IT, cool. Do you code or do you... What kind of projects do you do? IT, but is it software projects or hardware? You do software, hardware, or pretty much everything? Oh, I see. Okay. So IT folks must not, they mustn't find it very amusing that they are being managed by a project manager. I don't know, a lot of firms that I've worked at where I have been an IT project manager, I find out that a lot of people think that the project manager is redundant. The project manager shouldn't be there. After all, what is the PM contributing? You know what I mean? I hear a lot of people saying that. So are you guys going to adopt something more of an agile approach eventually? Yeah, projects differ, I guess. A lot of firms are changing over to agile these days. Oh, you're already using agile. That's cool. What flavor of agile do you use? Is it Scrum or still do a bit of traditional? Cool. Hey Cabo, how you doing? Oh, 12:23. I wish you all the very best. I hope you crush it. Hope you kill it. Do you live in Cabo? Or do you just like Cabo? Oh, is that really your name? Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, you gotta chill out, once in a while, especially leading up to the PMP. One of the pieces of advice that I'd give you is, the night before your exam, you might just want to maybe chill out, like big time chill out, like watch a movie, just do something fun. Do all the heavy stuff on the front end, all the heavy lifting, do all that stuff on the front end so that when it gets closer to the exam, you're just going to chill out and have a good time, have a party. One of my students, her name is Sarah, and I taught a class up in Pepperdine University, and she was one of my students, and the night before the exam, she watched Monsters University. Well, she was the monster the next day by getting 4 proficients out of the 5, which is a very huge feat in the world of PMI. So she didn't study all the way up to the tail end. She kind of took it easy, and she went in and she powered up. She was the monster, All right, I'll play one more track for you guys and gals. I know some of you are having dinner. That's cool. Your Pacific time, you're probably having dinner. Happy that the week is over. My goodness, aren't you glad that the week is over? All right, here's another track, and I call this track Calming Winds. Not so sure how calm it's going to be, but let's see what we've got. Ajitia, come on. How you doing? Just had dinner. What did you have for dinner? Something good? Shrimp pasta. I love shrimp. I love shrimp, I tell you. Sounds like a bad channel, right? Go ahead and ask whatever you like. This is all about you, remember? The agenda for today is to chat about whatever you like. You can chat about PMP related stuff if you want. You can chat about project management in general. You could talk about emerging trends in project management. You could talk about the PMI. Our friends at headquarters, if you want. Yeah, so let's see. But wanted to know if you could give a quick overview of different leadership styles. How cool. I will absolutely do that for you. And of course, I'll play a little bit of music in the background while I do that. So let's open up our Friendly Neighborhood PMBOK Guide, right? Friendly Neighborhood PMBOK Guide. You see, the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, it's a kind of treasure trove of sorts. It has the good, the bad, and the ugly. Have you taken a look at the 6th edition paper? The paper is... Whoever decided to use this paper, I'm going to drop some gold for PMI right now. Whoever decided to use this paper for the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, they need to go read chapter 8 that's written on this book, on this paper, because this is so far away from what the PMI espouses, you know, the whole idea about quality, the whole idea, talking about leadership styles, the whole idea about leadership. Give me a break. This paper is horrendous. But anyway, I'm going to talk to you from pages 60-ish all the way down. You want to take a look at my PMBOK guide. Those of you on Facebook, I don't know. There's my PMBOK guide, 6th edition. And this is really what I'm going to be sharing with you today from the 6th edition. So it's a great question, Sukama. So let me just give you this overview. And I'm using the PMBOK guide 6th edition. Before, when we taught this, we couldn't use the PMBOK guide. We'd have to use study guides. But now the PMI has put all of this stuff into the 6th edition, which is kind of cool, you know. Quite happy about that. So, put the music in the background while I speak to you. So, leadership styles is 3.4.5.1. And it says, project managers may lead their teams in many ways, blah, blah, blah. The style a project manager selects may be a personal preference or the result of the combination of multiple factors. And then it goes into the different leadership styles. And these are the ones I really think you should focus on for the exam because it's in the PMBOK guide. All right, so we have laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is kind of like letting someone manage their time themselves, not loading it over them, not micromanaging, but understanding that those people can manage their work themselves because they've proven to be able to do so. It says allowing the team make their own decisions and establish their own goals. It's referred to as a hands-off style. You've probably heard of laissez-faire, you know, having a laissez-faire disposition. This is also used in a lot of companies with CEO to other C-level executive relationships. So sometimes you've got the CEO managing or being the so-called boss of the CTO or CIO. They could use a laissez-faire attitude because they know that they've got it covered. I mean, these are people managing thousands of people themselves. You know, so the whole idea is don't micromanage those people who can manage, you know, themselves sufficiently well. However, if someone begins to abuse the laissez-faire leadership style, you might need to, look into that. The next one is transactional. Okay, transactional leadership is management by exception. So you manage each person and each interaction as a transaction. It says focus on goals, feedback, and accomplishment to determine rewards. All right, so based on how well they perform a certain aspect of their work, you could decide to reward them. It's transactional. Next one here, the third one is servant leader. Need I say more? You guys know all about servant leadership, right? Servant leadership, the person is all about serving. What can I do for you? You know, putting other people first. Focusing on other people's growth, learning, development, autonomy, and well-being. You know, it's all about what can I do for you, not what can you do for me, not what have you done for me lately. It's what can I do for you. That's servant leader. Then we've got transformational leadership, and it says empowering followers through idealized attributes and behaviors. Inspirational motivation. You know, I mean, in order to shift people from one state to another, you got to inspire them. Motivating is kind of transient, you know, but if you're inspired, it goes to the next level. And that's what transformational leaders do. They encourage you to innovate. And we talk about people like Steve Jobs. And, you know, one of his favorite quotes that I like is, management is making people do what you want them to do or what you think they should do. But leadership is making people do what they never even imagined they could do. So it's all about taking people to that next level of being innovative, being creative, and considering individuals. All right? True transformational leader he was. Then you've got charismatic leadership. It says being able to inspire, high energy, enthusiastic, self-confident, holding strong convictions. I mean, you hear a charismatic leader, you're taken immediately, right? Now, whether that being taken lasts is debatable on how that charismatic leader is If they've got the inspiration in there as well, then you're going to be inspired to greater levels. So it's not just going to be a transient thing. Then we've got interactional, a combination of transactional, transformational, and charismatic. All right. So those are PMI's takes, Sukamath. Dele Fatu. Hey, thanks, man. Good to see you, and thank you for the feedback. I'm excited to hear you pass the exam November 25th. More power to you. Do you know what you should do? Shoot us an email so that we can shoot you a special gift for being a PMP. So any of those folks who follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, those who get certified, I usually send them a special something. So why don't you send us an email to info@praizion.com, info@praizion.com. Yes, Sukamas, I was referring to the 6th edition. Yep. Good. Okay, Achintia, I'm happy to see that your book is covered and is exactly how it should be. I mean, this is what it's all about, you know. If you're reading the PMBOK guide and your PMBOK guide doesn't look similar to this or have post-it notes all over the place, then something is definitely missing. All right, well, it's been really nice hanging out with you guys. You know, I always take my little PMBOK guide, I always take the PMBOK guide along because you never know when PMP conversation is going to come up, right? So I'm curious to know, you guys, are you all going to take the 5th edition, or are some of you planning to take the 6th already? Can you tell me? You're still deciding which one to do, whether to do the 5th or the 6th? Oh, the 5th, good. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Good. Go for the 5th if you can. You know, no harm in trying to go for that. No harm at all. All right. Thank you, Dilly. I appreciate that. I'm going to play you guys one more tune, and it's going to be impromptu. It's going to be improvised. I improvise quite a bit. I'm going to play a song for you, and this particular track is called Project Management. You could probably figure out what it's going to look like or what it's going to sound like by the time I'm done, right? This is my interpretation of project management. Okay. How do projects start? Starts off with an idea. People come in, right? Then you've got some opposing forces. They kind of even out sometimes they don't. Then it gets to the CEO's desk. We got the poor PM and sponsor shaking in their shoes. Feasibility studies taking place. Business case taking place. Charter's been worked on. Stakeholders coming out of the woodworks. All sorts of stakeholders. Good stakeholders. Peaceful stakeholders. Stakeholder at the top left of the power interest grid. High levels of power. High levels of interest. High levels of power and interest for good reasons, and high levels of power and interest for bad reasons. A lot of chattering about the project. Then they finally go off for a few minutes, and then the project starts. No bad stakeholders, no negative stakeholders, just good stakeholders. Project management plan is being worked on. Getting to the end of the plan comes the kickoff meeting. Now everyone's on the same page, hopefully. But not for so long. In come the technical experts. Direct to manage project work. Work's being done. Audits about to happen. Inspections and audits. Oh dear. Here comes the customer. That was close. Uh-oh, there's been a change request. Validate scope. Thank goodness. The project came to a successful end. All right, that's my little treat for you for the night. Thank you for sticking in and chatting in, and I wish you a really cool weekend. And if you've got any questions, don't forget you can always shoot the questions down below this video, okay? I'll speak to you guys again hopefully soon. A nice break from your friendly neighborhood PMBOK. Back to reality tomorrow. I know lots of you are studying tomorrow. It's going to be back to reality. Okie doke. Thank you. Thanks. Sorry to have to remind you. I should have probably kept my mouth shut. All right. Take care then. Have a good time, Cabo. Sudkamat, thank you. Thank you, Dilly. Thank you, everyone. Take care. And speak to you sometime soon. Sometime soon. And my